Mike, can I ask you something a little personal?
Uh-oh. Should I be worried?
No, it's nothing bad. I've been thinking a lot lately about friendship, like real friendship. Do you think most people actually have real friends?
Honestly, I think most people have a lot of contacts, but real friends? Maybe one or two, if you're lucky.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people don't even know the difference between a real friend and just someone they know.
That's so true. Like there's a big difference between someone who texts you on your birthday and someone who actually shows up when things get hard.
And today, we're going to talk about exactly that. What makes a real friendship, how to talk about your friends in English, and some of the most natural ways English speakers talk about this topic every day.
So if you've ever wanted to describe your friendships in English, or just want to sound more natural when you talk about people in your life, stay with us. This one is for you.
Okay, so Mike, tell me about your best friend. Like, who is your closest friend right now?
Okay, so my best friend is a guy named Daniel. We've been friends since we were like 10 years old.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, we grew up together. We went to the same school, lived in the same neighborhood. We basically did everything together.
So you're childhood friends.
Exactly. Childhood friends. And the thing is, even now, we live in different cities, but it still feels the same when we talk.
That's the best kind of friendship, right? Where time doesn't really change things.
Yeah, like we can go weeks without talking, and then when we do talk, it's like no time has passed at all.
I love that. I have a friend like that too. Her name is Laura. We met in university.
Oh yeah? What's she like?
She's so easy to be around, you know? Like, I never have to pretend to be someone else with her. I can just be myself.
That's actually really important in a friendship.
It is. I think that's what separates a close friend from just an acquaintance.
Right. An acquaintance is someone you know, maybe from work or from your neighborhood, but you're not really close with them. You're friendly, but it's not deep.
Exactly. Like, you might say hi to them, have a small chat, but you don't really open up to them.
Versus a close friend or a best friend, someone you trust completely.
Yes, someone you can call at 2 in the morning if something is wrong.
I think that's the real test of a true friend, honestly. Who would actually pick up the phone at 2 a.m.?
Right? Like, not a lot of people, but those people, the ones who would, those are your real friends.
So how did you and Laura become so close? Like, was it just because you spent a lot of time together?
I think it started that way. We had the same classes, so we saw each other every day. But then one day, I was going through something really difficult, a family thing, and she was just there. She didn't even say much. She just showed up.
That says everything.
It really does. After that, I knew she was someone special.
Yeah, I think that's how most deep friendships start. Something happens, a hard moment, and you find out who really cares.
And who doesn't, unfortunately?
Yeah, that's a hard lesson, but an important one.
Have you ever lost a friend? Like a friendship that just kind of ended?
Yeah, actually. One of my old friends, we were really close in high school, but after we graduated, we just drifted apart.
Drifted apart. That's a great phrase. What does that mean exactly?
It means you slowly became less close. Not because of a fight or anything, just because life took you in different directions. You stopped talking as much, stopped making plans, and eventually, you just weren't really in each other's lives anymore.
That happens a lot, actually. Especially after big changes. Moving to a new city, starting a new job, having kids.
Totally. Life gets busy, and some friendships survive that, and some don't.
I think the ones that survive are the ones where both people put in the effort.
Yeah, friendship takes effort. It's not just something that happens automatically.
Right, you have to check in on people, send a message sometimes, make plans even when you're busy.
Exactly. It's like any relationship. It needs attention to stay healthy.
Oh, and by the way, we just used a few phrases that are really useful, like check in on someone. Do you want to explain that one, Mike?
Sure. To check in on someone means to contact them, send a message or call, just to see how they're doing. Not because you need something, just because you care. Like, I checked in on my friend today because she's been stressed lately.
Perfect. And another one, to be there for someone. That means to support them, to be available when they need you, like, he was really there for me when I lost my job.
And to grow apart or drift apart both mean the same thing. Your friendship slowly becomes less strong, usually because of distance or different life paths.
Great ones. Okay, back to the conversation.
You know, speaking of getting better with English and putting yourself out there, Sophia, can we take like 10 seconds to mention something?
Yes, so we actually built something. Our team here at the Daily Dialogue created an AI English tutor called Talk to Gemma. You can find it at talktogemma.com.
You can sign up and get a 3-day free trial. Talk to Gemma directly. She corrects you, gives you feedback, and you can pick real-life scenarios like a job interview, a doctor visit, a restaurant, or just talk freely about anything, whatever you need.
Students are already using it to crack IELTS and other exams, and some are using it to take their English to the next level. The link is in the description and pinned comment. Go check it out. It's free to start.
So, Sophia, do you think it's harder to make friends as an adult?
Oh, absolutely. When you're a kid, you make friends so easily. You just sit next to someone and suddenly you're best friends.
Right? You like dinosaurs? Me too. Best friends forever.
Exactly. But as an adult, it's so different. Everyone is busy. People have their own lives. It takes more time and more effort.
Yeah, I think as adults, we're also more careful. We don't just trust everyone right away.
That's a good point. We're more selective, which isn't a bad thing, but it does make it harder to build new friendships.
I read somewhere that it takes something like 50 hours of time together to become casual friends and 200 hours to become close friends.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Right? So you really have to invest in it.
And that's the thing. As adults, we don't always have that kind of time. So the friendships we do have become even more precious.
Precious. I like that word. It means very valuable, very special.
Yes, your real friends are precious. Don't take them for granted.
To take someone for granted, that means you stop appreciating them. You expect them to always be there, but you don't really show them that you care.
And that can really damage a friendship over time.
Definitely. I think one of the biggest friendship mistakes people make is assuming the other person knows they care without actually showing it.
So true. Sometimes you have to say it or do something. A small gesture can mean a lot.
Like remembering someone's birthday, or sending them an article you know they'd like, or just checking in when you know they're going through something tough.
Little things, but they add up.
Okay, so I want to ask you something. What do you think makes someone a good friend? Like, if you had to describe the qualities of a good friend.
I think the number one thing for me is honesty.
Really? Tell me more.
Like, a good friend tells you the truth, even when it's not what you want to hear. They don't just tell you what you want to hear to make you feel good.
Ah, yeah. That's the difference between a real friend and a yes friend, someone who just always agrees with you and never challenges you.
Exactly. A real friend will say, hey, I love you, but I think you're wrong about this. And that's hard to find.
It is, because honesty can be uncomfortable, but it's so important. What about you? What qualities do you look for?
For me, I think loyalty is huge.
Loyalty meaning they stick with you?
Yeah, like they don't talk badly about you behind your back. They defend you when other people say negative things. They don't just disappear when things get hard.
That's a big one, because some people are great friends when everything is good, but the moment you have a problem, they're gone.
Fair weather friends.
Yes, a fair weather friend. Someone who is only around when things are easy and fun, but when it gets tough, they're nowhere to be found. Yeah, I've had a couple of those in my life.
Me too. And it hurts when you realize it. But it also helps you appreciate your real friends more.
Silver lining.
Exactly. Every bad experience teaches you something. And in friendship, it teaches you who really matters.
I think another big quality, and this one is underrated, is being a good listener.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Like, some people are great talkers. They share everything, they're fun, but they never actually listen to you. They wait for their turn to talk.
And you leave the conversation feeling kind of empty, like you weren't really heard.
Exactly. A good friend actually listens. They ask follow-up questions. They remember what you told them last time.
That makes such a difference. When someone remembers something you said weeks ago, it shows they were really paying attention.
It makes you feel valued.
Yes, like you matter to them, not just in the moment, but for real.
Okay, a couple more great words we used. Loyalty. This means being faithful to someone, staying with them, supporting them, even in difficult times.
And fair weather friend. Remember that one. A fair weather friend is someone who is only nice to you or helpful when things are good. When things get hard, they disappear.
And underrated. It means something is better or more important than people usually think. Like, being a good listener is underrated in friendship.
Perfect. Okay, let's keep going. Can I bring up something a little different? What about friendships that are kind of complicated?
Oh, complicated how?
Like friendships where there's a lot of history. Maybe you've had a fight before, or there's been some misunderstanding, but you're still friends.
Ah, yeah, those can be tricky.
I have a friend. I won't say who, but we had a big argument a few years ago. We didn't talk for like 6 months.
Wow, what happened?
It was a misunderstanding, honestly. We both said some things we didn't mean, and then we just didn't talk.
And then how did you work it out?
She called me. Out of nowhere. She just said, "I miss you, and I think we both made mistakes. Can we talk?"
That takes courage.
It really does. And I was so grateful she did it because I was too proud to call first.
It's hard to be the first person to reach out after a fight.
Very hard. Because you don't want to feel like you're losing. Like, why do I have to call first?
But if the friendship matters, someone has to do it.
Exactly. And looking back, I'm so glad she did. Because now we're closer than ever.
That's beautiful. And I think it shows that some friendships are worth fighting for, worth putting your ego aside.
Yes, ego. That's a big one in friendship. Sometimes your ego is your own worst enemy.
To put your ego aside, it means to stop thinking about what makes you look good and focus on what actually matters.
Great way to put it.
You know what? I think one of the most important things in friendship is forgiveness.
Say more.
Like, nobody is perfect. Your friends will make mistakes. They'll forget something important or say something that hurts you, maybe without meaning to. And if you can't forgive small things, you're going to lose a lot of good people.
That's so true. And I think forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was okay. It just means you choose the friendship over the argument.
Well said.
I have my moments.
What about online friendships? Like people you meet online. Is that real friendship?
Interesting question. I think it can be. I mean, we live in a world now where you can meet someone on social media or in an online community and really connect with them.
Yeah. I have a friend I met through a gaming community online. We've never met in person, but we've talked almost every day for 2 years.
See, that's real. That's a real connection.
I think what makes it real is the same things that make any friendship real. You care about the person, you're honest, you show up for them in whatever way you can.
Even if showing up looks different online.
Exactly. Like, you can't bring someone soup when they're sick if they live in another country, but you can check in, send a message, be present.
I love that. Presence doesn't have to be physical.
No, it doesn't.
And I think online friendships have become really important, especially for people who are shy or who live in places where it's hard to meet people with similar interests.
Right. The internet kind of removed that barrier. You can find your people, even if they're not near you.
Your people. I love that phrase. Finding your people, meaning finding the people who really understand you, who share your values or interests.
It's one of the best feelings.
It really is. Okay, one more vocabulary note. To reach out. We used that earlier. To reach out means to contact someone, usually to start a conversation or to offer help. Like, I reached out to an old friend last week.
Great phrase. Very natural, very common in everyday English.
And to put your ego aside, to stop focusing on yourself or your pride and focus on what's more important.
Okay, we are getting close to the end, so let's do our question of the day.
Okay, today's question of the day is...
Think about one friend in your life and tell us in the comments, what is one quality that makes them a great friend?
We love reading your comments, so tell us about your friend. What makes them special to you?
Write it in English. It's great practice, and we read every single one.
Yes, we do.
All right, that's a wrap on today's episode of the Daily Dialogue.
We talked about real friendship, how to describe friends in English, useful vocabulary like drift apart, check in on someone, fair weather friend, loyalty, and to reach out.
And we had a really honest conversation about what it actually means to be a good friend.
I hope you felt like you were just sitting with us, having a real conversation, because that's the whole point of this podcast.
If this helped you even a little bit, if you learned one new phrase or felt a little more confident in English today, please hit that like button. It really helps us reach more people.
And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? We post every single day. Every day there's a new conversation, a new topic, new vocabulary.
This is your daily English practice. Make it a habit. Come back tomorrow. We'll be here.
And before you go, we really do recommend checking out Talk to Gemma at talktogemma.com, our own AI English tutor built by our team. You get a 3-day free trial. You can practice real conversations, get feedback, and actually improve faster.
The link is in the description and the pinned comment below. Go try it out. It's free to start.
Take care of your friends, everyone.
And take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow.
Bye.